Hey everyone, Eric Power here. You may be wondering why I'm looking like such a badass today. Well, that's because I'm about to take you on a journey to the top 10 anime badasses. Before we start, let me mention that this is my list, so I may overlook someone that you choose as deserving of a spot. But it might be because I don't know who they are, haven't seen it, and let's face it, there's so many awesome characters out there to choose from, it's hard to pick them all. So, let's get started.
Number 10.
Hell.
Death Note is new to me. I just got done watching all the live-action films and the anime series and just really enjoyed the character of L. The basic premise is a guy named Light Yagami, also known as Akira, who gets a hold of a Death Note, a notebook in which if you write the name of someone, they die. He decides to use it to rid the world of evil doers, but ends up getting a bit carried away. The world-famous Detective L is on the case, and what ensues is a battle of wits between the two. He can't drop-kick a helicopter or anything, but his intellect consistently proves how amazing he is as a character. Number 9. Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. I just love this guy's nonchalant attitude towards the situations he finds himself in. He comes across as a bit lazy with the who cares style, but always comes through in the end. I love the way he fights. It's always quite enjoyable to see these scenes. So what makes him so damn cool? Is it his anti-hero attitude as a bounty hunter seeking the next payday? His troubled past? Nah, it's the hair. With hair like that, you've got to be cool.
Huh? Quiet you. Well, let's just move on.
Number 8. Next up is Kazuki Fuse from Jinro the Wolf Brigade. This is one seriously intimidating guy. He's part of an elite platoon of panzer cops who can best be described as the most devoted and ruthless soldiers, period. Yet for most of the film he comes off as pretty passive. It is only later on we realize just how wolf-like he truly is. The ending to this film always gives me the chills. It's that good. Number 7. Here's one you may know from the Record of Lotus Wars series. It's Parn! Just kidding. The trophy actually goes to Ashram. Once again, we see a tragic character, yet this time he is on the side of evil. Truthfully, he doesn't care one way or the other. He can be totally ruthless, command such a presence, and still make you feel sorry for him towards the end. I like him so much, I actually adopted his name as my very first internet handle. And later on, I chose to name Ashram as my persona while making my first documentary on live-action role-playing. I recommend the original series on this one, rather than the updated TV show. Number 6. Golgo 13. This guy epitomizes the cool assassin character. He takes people out and leaves no trace, then makes basically every girl he so much as looks at fall completely in love with him. And then they usually betray him in some way. The animation in these films can feel a bit dated, as if they came out in the 80s, especially this poor excuse for a CGI scene, but he's still so damn cool. Number 5. Meiji Kusanagi is one tough, kick-ass crime-fighting machine. Literally. She definitely exudes the lone wolf style, which is pretty much standard when it comes to being a badass. I love her attitude throughout the whole film. She's on a mission, and nothing will stand in her way.
You can drive now.
Huh?
She will crash your party, blow your face off, and then go diving. Number 4. And who can forget Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star? He's a badass in every sense of the word, and uses his insanely awesome fighting style to protect the weak and innocent. You will know he cannot be ignored when you first see him execute a guy with a flurry of the deadliest acupuncture ever. Then he simply walks away as the doomed opponent shortly discovers his head is about to freaking explode. It's pretty amazing stuff, but not for the weak-stomached.
I just love how dramatic animes can be.
Let's go! Number 3. One letter. D. Talk about a futuristic story. Vampire Hunter D is set in the year 12,090 AD. The world is filled with mutants, vampires, and demons, and it is up to one lone wolf, as if there were any doubt, to fight off the legions of freaks. With a sword in one hand and a face in the other, just go with it, he can take on any goon in his way. This was one of the first horror animes I saw, and is considered a cult classic in the genre. I recommend checking out the original film rather than the sequel, Bloodlust. Number 2. Jubei from Ninja Scroll is one of my all-time favorite characters. In fact, the film itself only barely missed a spot on my top 10 animated films list. It is such a fantastic story and ends up being quite moving. Jubei faces up against a team of unique enemies, each with their own strange abilities that he must somehow overcome. Every character in this film is extremely memorable, but Jubei transcends them all and gets a place of honor on my list. Number 1.
Surgery doesn't get more critical than this.
And number 1 is none other than the surgeon with the hands of God, Blackjack. The 10-episode OVA series and the first feature film are my favorite adaptation of this character, originally designed by Osamu Tezuka, the guy who brought us Astro Boy. He is a rogue surgeon who travels the world taking on interesting medical cases for insane amounts of cash. Each episode is filled with a sense of mystery, and typically builds up to a life-and-death operation under the most stressful of circumstances, like maybe in the pitch dark or while the patient is having seizures and fits. All plausibility is thrown out the window, of course, but that's kind of what makes it so much fun. I mean, the guy just happens to keep a tetanus vaccine in his jacket pocket. How can you top that?
Try to relax. This is a combination tetanus and rabies vaccine.
Blackjack truly is my number 1 pick for the most badass anime character.
So that's my list, and now I'd like to hear what you have to say, especially concerning female characters, since I only had one on the list. So post them in the comments and enlighten me onto some awesome films that I may have missed, and until next time, take care.